Saw dude, Chad Kackis here. Thank you so much for stopping by. And today, we are going to be discussing the fact that the Iron Banner grind just sucks. Like, it's not fun, it's not enjoyable, and very importantly, it just feels out of place. When we look at how so many areas of Destiny 2 have evolved in terms of the reward structure, and then we look at the frankly archaic Iron Banner, it doesn't feel the same. Why haven't improvements that have met so many other areas of the game finally met Iron Banner? That's what we're talking about today, so let's get started. Now, very importantly, right off the bat, this is not going to be a discussion about skill-based matchmaking. That is a hot topic right now. It was in the game very prominently, and then this season it was just yoinked. And so what you have is the higher skilled players enjoying this and the lower skilled players not at all. But here's the thing that apparently no one wants to say. There has got to be a middle ground between where it was, which was matching you with people from across the world and having every single game feel like a Mountain Dew Code Red tournament, which was way too high dialed up skill-based matchmaking, to where it is now, where it throws people who just started the game yesterday against a 6-stack from orgs, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense. There has got to be a middle ground that will make more people happy. My personal opinion is that there should be a protected skilled bracket for newer players and lower skilled players. They can match each other, but once you get to like above average skill level or average skill level, you're just thrown into the wild. Good luck, right? But honestly, there's got to be something better than turned up to 11 or turned down to 0, like Bungie. Come on, find the middle ground. In any event, that is a whole topic, but it's really, again, not the focus of today's video, because regardless of skill-based matchmaking, and I played Iron Banner before and after it was, again, dialed up and dialed down, Iron Banner still doesn't feel that rewarding. The reward structure and the rewards themselves are often just disappointing. Now, I want to put an asterisk there because the rewards themselves, in some aspects, are very good. The fact that Bungie actually did add 2 very desirable weapons with the Forward Path Auto Rifle and then the Fool's Remedy sidearms, both of which are actually reasonably competitive, that is a great thing. That is fantastic news, and on top of that, a lot of the older Iron Banner weapons, like the Swarm or the Raven, were kind of reintroduced this season as well, and they have infusion caps as if they just came out this season. So you'll be able to get the weapons or the armor, and you will be able to utilize them going into future expansions and not have to worry about them sunsetting. That is all good news. The problem, however, is that all of this is built upon an extremely outdated loot reward structure. You play the game, you get tokens, you turn those tokens in, and you get a random chance at a random thing in that pretty big loot pool. That was what everything was back in the day, back with vanilla Destiny 2. And everyone, including Bungie, realized pretty quickly that that sucks. Like, it's not very exciting to get a drop of tokens, right, at the end of a match. It's not very exciting to see a little number pop up. It's not very exciting to spam hours worth of tokens and get, 2 rewards. It just isn't a good reward structure, and Bungie has moved away from that with, oh my goodness, name something. I mean, this season, Umbral Engrams, the fact that you can focus and target what loot you're going after gives the players so much more control in getting what they actually want. We also have last season with Season of the Worthy, the fact that you can specifically farm, well, for Trials of Osiris, you have specific rewards at wins 3, 5, and 7. So if those rewards are what you want, you can make an effort to play that weekend, right? Whereas if you don't care about them, you can skip that weekend. But we also had Warmind loot being targeted bounties. We see this targeted loot, I mean, all the way back with Shadow Keep, going after the very specific essences and getting that specific loot. We have this everywhere in the game, except for just a few places, and Iron Banner is one of them. And for a premier event, that's one of the only ways to get pinnacles in the game, it's still using this archaic system? Like, why hasn't it seen any improvements in the reward structure? And there is a multitude of different things you could do to improve this reward structure. The easiest, like, no-brainer option is to just increase the amount of tokens you get. Even if you are mercying every single team, 5 tokens after a win doesn't feel great. Like, that's still gonna take you half an hour, 25 minutes for one reward? One reward. Guys, you can run the Grandmaster Nightfall in under 10 minutes and get platinum, right? And look at those rewards versus the Iron Banner, like one random piece of loot. It just doesn't even compare. So increasing the tokens to, I would say, 10 for a win, 5 for a loss would make everyone happier, because losing really sucks when you get 3 tokens. Like, that just feels not good at all. And I think just upping tokens across the board would make things feel a lot better. But that's not the only solution. Sometimes Iron Banner gives you rewards, gives you loot after a match. And sometimes, like, I've actually gotten 2 Iron Banner rewards. I remember most recently I got the Orwig's Maul as an Iron Banner weapon, and I got Iron Banner gauntlets from the same endgame reward. That's insane. The fact that it can give you 2 pieces of loot sometimes and then literally nothing other times is going to make different people's experiences widely different in terms of the actual loot you're getting. So you're telling me that someone out there has probably played 3 Iron Banner matches in a row and gotten 6 pieces of loot, like 2 for every single match, but most of us are playing those same 3 matches and getting literally nothing? What the heck is that about? Why isn't there a guaranteed piece of Iron Banner loot after a match? Now, in that scenario, you wouldn't have to also increase the tokens, but that's another way to just increase the reward structure and make it feel better for playing Iron Banner. If you're getting a piece of Iron Banner loot after every single match, even if you're losing, you're much more inclined to actually be spending time in that playlist. But that's not the only solution. Another solution is, why is Lord Saladin just have one button? Just have a turn in button, right? Again, look at Umbral Engrams, how complicated in a good way that reward structure is and how it lets you determine what you want. Could you imagine if Lord Saladin just had one other button? It had 2 buttons, and one said armor reward and the other said weapon reward. Do you know how much better it would be to grind Iron Banner if you're going after a weapon? You could guarantee that your rewards were weapons, and vice versa for armor. Give the player just a little bit more of a degree of control and how much that would improve things. Again, these are not like massive changes. Upping the token count, upping the after game reward count, and giving a weapon or an armor option. These are very simple things that Bungie could do to vastly improve the experience in terms of the reward structure. So why haven't they? Like, honestly, Iron Banner shows up once a month. It's supposed to be this special activity, but it just doesn't feel good to play. It doesn't feel rewarding to play. And I know changing the matchmaking, I said I wouldn't talk about this, but changing the matchmaking is a very complicated issue. Unlike the things I just mentioned to improve the reward structure, that's not complicated at all. Give the intern, a day and a half and you could implement this, honestly. But something that can really be done as a massive band-aid to the whole skill-based matchmaking debate is introduce a mercenary playlist. Like, introduce an Iron Banner playlist where it's solo queue only, or maybe have the option to have double queues. So if you are 1 or 2 people in your party, you can matchmake here. If you're any more than that, 3, 4, 6, whatever, you have to matchmake in the normal Iron Banner. And this would prevent people running up against 6 stacks if they're solo. So a solo queue, again, this is something that Bungie implemented for the competitive playlist, and everyone praised this. Like, no one was saying, oh, the solo queue ruined competitive. Everyone's like, that's a fantastic idea. So why not do that for Iron Banner? That would solve a lot of the issues, and that would really make the whole skill-based matchmaking thing not feel so bad. Because even if you match a 6-stack that is less skill than you, the fact that they are a 6-stack is giving them a huge advantage. So these are simple solutions that would make Iron Banner better, and frankly, it's just been too long where we've seen Iron Banner stagnate and not get really any improvements aside from just adding new things to the loot pool, which honestly increases these problems. If you keep adding things to the loot pool becomes more bloated, and then these issues of trying to get what you want just become more and more apparent. So Bungie, it's time to do something. Please, these are simple changes that would make playing Iron Banner feel better and would just make Iron Banner feel more special, more involving, more engaging when it does show up. Guys, let me know what you think. What would you do out of the things I mentioned, or even if you have an idea I didn't mention, to improve Iron Banner? Are you having fun and you think Iron Banner doesn't need any changes, or do you also agree that it definitely needs some help? Let me know in the comment section down below. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, found it informative, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKackis. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.